How I found out about podcasts was searching through Charlamagne the God interviews, and I stumbled across a podcast called Brilliant Idiots. And at the time I didn't know what a brilliant idiot or a podcast was, but I was curious, so I clicked it. And you know, for those who don't know, that's Andrew Schultz, Charlamagne the God. You know, they are the Brilliant Idiots. But that podcast, you know, changed my whole life. You know, it was a different point of view. I never hear people from the entertainment world speaking that type of tone, you know, using those ideas and concepts. Man, it's no words to describe, man. It was life changing. Well, to see people talk with that type of POV and not being around people that's on a daily talking like that, it just was like, you know, eye-opening. It seemed like you was in a dark room, someone turned on a light. So yeah, and it was like a gateway, you know. It was from different podcasts, you know, they interviewed different podcasters. So it was like Lip Service, that's Angela Yee podcast, her and her group. You got It's the Real, that's, you know, Waste of Time podcast, and you got Drink Champs, and you got Van Lathan, Red Pill. My mind was blown by POV everybody had, and just finding out the stories behind the scenes and why things went the way they did. And it was like an insider scoop, sort of say, firsthand. And it was, man, life changing, so to say. The name King Chevy came about from having a lot of Chevys, I guess. You know, being very fond of Chevys and being called Chevy Boy for a while, and even, you know, getting it tatted and just, you know, really falling in love with the brand. So, you know, and I felt like royalty. It wasn't no type of slave mentality or peasant type thing. So it was like, alright, you gotta do something, you gotta be something. So when I put a king on top of that, you know, you always thought you was royalty, so be that. Man, the process, it's been crazy. Man, it's had a lot of growing pains. It's been a journey, let me tell you. Man, from everything, the air conditioning to the decor to the cameras, you name it, you know, the microphones, everything was a process. With not being any type of educated in any of these fields, it was like I had to ask and I had to, you know, trial and error type thing. I had a whole bunch of things I had to do to get to this point. And you know, I'm still learning. I'm still in a growth process, so to say. So I'm getting there, you know. I'm hoping y'all stick around with me so I can, you know, reach the stratosphere. Well, the motivation being, man, December last year, early January of this year, you know, mid-January, I lost 2 family members that were close to me. And even though we didn't talk every day or whatever it was, you know, the love was always there. No matter what, I can call them. I know they're coming, no problem. You know, even when we was younger, you know, getting in all the different type of mischief we was doing, you know, they watched out for me. You know, they kind of knew I wasn't cut from that cloth, so to say. And you know, at the time I was kind of defiant, but I still pulled through, and they watched out for me, no problems. You know, it's family. They took care of me, you know, like family's supposed to. So man, that's been my biggest motivation, doing it for them, man. You know, every day, all day, so to say. You know, R.I.P. Dre, R.I.P. Big V. Doing this for y'all, man. Love y'all. How I came up with the idea was I worked at this factory for about 10 years or so, and I came across a guy, man, they called him Tiny Man. I don't know why they called him Tiny Man, but they would call him T for short. So, you know, over the years we kind of grew a friendship, sort of really a brother. brotherhood. And man, we started listening to podcasts around the same time, but he listened to sports podcasts, and I was more of a kind of hip hop type of podcast. So when I found Brilliant Idiots, you know, I told him to try it, and he tried, and sure enough, he fell in love too. So, you know, he would tell me different podcasts to try and different, you know, episodes. So one day he just came up to me, he was like, man, why don't we try our own podcast? I was like, let's do it. First podcast coming very soon. We haven't made a decision, you know, final decision on whether it's going to be Grind Talk. That's a podcast I got coming. And I got a podcast also with my guy, Mr. Tiny Man. So y'all gonna want to be on the lookout for that. So, you know, stay tuned, stay focused. You know, we coming straight to you. It's your boy, man.